Welcome to Global Talk Show by Business Bar Academy, Netherlands. And today we have an amazing, vivacious personality from UK. And she is none other than Maggie Englander. Welcome, Maggie, to our show today. And it's been a great privilege and honor for me to host you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I couldn't wait either. So here we are. Thank you.
Maggie, trust me, this talk show, even I was so much waiting for this because our interview was sometimes like hide and seek, a Tom and Jerry rat race, you can say. So, but now we are here and our global audience are so excited and interested to know your incredible journey. So without taking a pause, I pass my dice in your court. Kindly enlighten the world about your amazing, inspiring, and a very lovely journey.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can tell about your journey, life journey, incredible journey to your audience.
Okay, so wow, I was thinking about what to say, and I just thought that my life journey will be illustrated the best if I just explained what shaped me and what had great influence over who I became. So first of all, I was growing up in the communist country Poland, where everything was restricted. We couldn't have foreign television, we couldn't go abroad. Everything had to be Polish. And I remember just growing up and just looking around, just thinking everyone looks the same, everyone speaks the same language, everyone kind of behaves similarly. I was so eager to find out what else is out there. What else? I was just so eager and so curious just to find out what's the world about. So I remember when I was at school and my girlfriends were thinking of becoming a hairdresser or becoming a model or an actress, I wanted to become a cosmonaut. I wanted to go to the moon and see from outside where the restrictions were no existence of what's happening down on Earth. So yes, I think it just kind of like shined me in a way that I was just so eager to find out what else, or if we didn't have this, what would we have instead? The second thing that shaped me was I'm the youngest in my family. So I have two older sisters and I'm the youngest one. So for me to be seen and heard by others, I had to kind of like, I didn't feel much heard or seen by my family when I was growing up. I was always the youngest one who didn't know anything, who was not allowed to touch things just in case they break. So in order for me to feel heard and to fulfill my buckets of emotional needs, I needed to become more helpful and more interested in other people outside of my family. So kind of like to be heard, to be seen, etc., etc. So naturally, kind of like to fulfill my needs, I started spending much more time outdoors with my friends, exploring other people's behaviors, kind of like exploring other people kind of like minds, what they were about, who needed my help. I was always there supporting everyone. If someone was bullied, I was always the one who was standing up for their rights. If someone didn't have friends, they knew that they can count on me. I was always kind of like school or class representative. So I had kind of like been in a close contact with my teachers. And I knew that kind of like that was my power, that was my control, that was my need being filled in terms of kind of like being needed and being heard and being seen. So so that was the second one, that my fascination with people's mind, with being needed, being helpful, initiated. The third influence that initiated my journey, my life journey, was when I was growing up in Poland, and mental health was a taboo. No one spoke about it. It was kind of like if it didn't exist. my family always was much more into kind of like sport, physical health. So we ate healthily, we were going on different camps, we were playing different sports, but no one spoke about mental health. If someone was feeling kind of like low, the best advice the person would have been given was sleep it off, you will feel better tomorrow, or do something and then find yourself more productive rather than just kind of like not doing anything and again feeling sorry for yourself. So I didn't like it. I knew in me that something is not right because obviously we all have our needs, and those needs, emotional and mental health needs, were not being met. You know, I was playing sport, but then I just wanted to offload myself. I wanted to speak to someone, and there was kind of like no one who could have listened to me. My parents were working full times, raising, children, running house, and there was no much time for it. So I grew up with a great need of needing to speak to someone and also recognizing that other people need to speak to me. So I remember when I reached university time, I was so overwhelmed. I was very fit. I was very healthy. I knew so much about sport. I was playing badminton, and it was kind of like I was badminton coach, but I just felt overwhelmed. I had a feeling that I'm always there for others when it comes to non-family members, always rescuing others, helping others, healing others. And also within my family, I had a feeling that I had to act. I had to be behaving certain way to be accepted. With this overwhelmed, I didn't know anything about mental health at the time. I was so lonely. I remember I just felt so much despair in me, and I tried to commit suicide. So I took lots of tablets, and I was taken to hospital. There were just many things happening in the hospital to me. But I remember when I woke up, and I saw what happened to me, and how terrible I was feeling at the time and how lonely I was feeling at the time. I had a realization that if I want to live, if I want to get better, I need to rely on myself. I need to rely on my own strengths because there's no one there who could have actively listened to me and seen me. And if I'm not going to do it, no one else will do it. And that was a big moment of my life that shaped me to start understanding much, to becoming much more intuitive and insightful who I was, what I needed at the time, as well as helping others. So at the time, I changed my university course. I started studying psychology. I did my psychology degree. And since then, for almost 30 years now, I spent my life self-healing whilst pulling everyone up with me. So my continuous growth never ends. I have countless qualifications from counseling, psychology, cognitive behavior therapy, neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis. I all practice on myself as well on others. So I just also working, I started working for Special Olympics Games organization because it was different. There were people who weren't held by others. So I started working there. It was my first job as a badminton coach. And then, as I said a moment ago, I always work at different settings, helping different people, from people with special needs, people with hearing, visual impairments, wheelchair users, people with mental health needs, ex-offenders. There were just lots of, and also my youngest client was 11 and my oldest client was 101. So throughout my years of almost 30 years of coaching and self-growing in different submodalities, I've seen and heard a lot. But I think the most enjoyable job was working for psychiatric hospitals, where I saw things that blew my mind, that I had never ever thought that such histories I would even hear, in my life. And a few years ago, I started my Rewiring Yourself after recognizing what was needed on the market, what people were not getting, what doing my job, doing my whatever I've done in my life, I was always active listening to people. I was always saying, I'm not there to preach to you what I know. I want to help you. You tell me what you need. So this way, I gained a lot of understanding what people needed. And on that base, I created Rewiring Yourself. And also,
I must
yeah,
say, this journey of yours, which you said about you attempting suicide, and then you just moved into a self healing, coaching. So it's all, I can say, it's a process of the life which will make you a strong woman. And this is
yes,
really, really amazing. And I must appreciate your vigor, your strength, the power within you, which has enlightened a great soul, a great energy. And today, this Maggie is giving an interview and inspiring millions of people. So that's the spirit of life. And that's, you can say, a great thing in your life. Awesome
thank
one. I
you.
really appreciate you for this great thing. Well, Maggie, now it's about your incredible journey, and this is very, very inspiring, and it has inspired millions of people, especially our feminine leaders. Straight away, I would like to ask about your profession, your work, and how people can leverage, my global audience can leverage from your great work. So kindly enlighten this part too.
Yeah, I think before I say it, I wanted to say, kind of like add something in the lines of what challenges I overcame in my life, because challenges I treat as my light bulb moments. Through challenges, we're learning the most. And why in the past, I was asking, why is this happening? I reframe it to, what is this teaching me? And how can I help others through what I went myself? So this is part of my coaching. This is part of what I'm giving to others. First of all, when I was little, I almost drowned. And if there was no one boy there who picked my shoulder up and dragged me out of the water, I would have been drown. So that episode of my life taught me how important it is to be the right person at the right time, supporting those ones who are not literally, but who are drowning in their lives. So this is me inspiring others, motivating others, and seeing the hope for them at the end of the dark tunnel. So many people in my life told me that I'm that they like human guardian angel, showing the possibilities that they never thought there are, in life. The second one, I'm helping people to overcome and avoid burnout. We live in very, very stressful times. There's so much pressure, so much comparison. So many people forget how to live. They just live, they just kind of like constantly live the same life, but forgetting who they really are at core. Or they're just so ambitious that they work and work and work, and they forget to also take care of their bodies. And in 2019, I experienced a severe burnout, and it was horrible. It was so horrible that when the COVID pandemic started, I was dreading so much, knowing how I felt the previous year, for COVID not to touch me because I didn't want to feel the same. So I remember before it happened, my mind was all the time on a highway. I couldn't sleep. I was creating all the time, but neglecting my physical health. So these are kind of clients who I attract as well. Driven entrepreneurs who want to achieve, but are lacking time to address their personal care. So this is something that I do as well. What I coach people. My greatest passion of what I do is healing emotional traumas, and that are caused by trauma and stress that cause medical conditions in us. So, so many, for example, so many clients they don't know how they're feeling. They just kind of like go for a routine check to their doctors, and they're being told, oh, you have hypertension, high blood pressure, or you may have prediabetes, or you may have diabetes, and they start taking medication for it, or you may have depression or anxiety. They're not being taught how to look after themselves without needing to take medication, because so many people I've seen have no idea what side effects the medications have. They even don't know what they take and what for. They just know the shape and the color of the pills. So many of them stay addicted to those medications for a long, long time. So my job, what I do in Rewiring Yourself is setting up holistic packages for mental well-being, emotional well-being, and physical wellness as well. So you do not need to rely on anything external rather than yourself, your potential, your alignment with your unconscious mind, with your values, etc., etc. So burnout is a big thing nowadays, especially after pandemic, that I've seen a much rise of. Also, I do mental health as well, especially anxiety and depression. Many people try to stay afloat by getting into addictions or overeating, causing obesity. But they don't know how to, they lack resources of how to address their emotional needs, and that tired of being told, oh, you need to eat healthily and exercise, because it may work for few people, but obviously not for everyone. So that's why I'm an emotional mastery coach as well, teaching people how to be emotionally resilient. So whatever the storm, external storm, you are not ruining what is inside. You are becoming even much more stronger. Another light bulb of my life that I wanted to talk about, and is also related to people I'm supporting. For over 10 years, I'm a single mom, a divorcee, living in UK, originally from Poland, raising up two children by myself without any practical help. So many people now that I study, I work, I do my business, I raise up two kids, and I run the house all by myself. And they say, Maggie, how you do it? And I said, this is the reason why I'm just so close with the divine powers, because I believe the divine powers are looking after me, that I have strength and energy to look after my clients, even though being all by myself in all of this that I'm just enduring in my life. So I attract lots of single parents as well, because they can relate to what I'm going through, and I can understand how lonely and isolating the journey is. I do lots of work with insomnia as well, because many people pay so much attention to what's happening to them during a day, and they think when they just kind of like sleep, everything will be okay. But actually not. The most important part of the day is the night sleep. Because how can we be productive? How can we be well? How can we have not distorted vision or thinking during a day if we are not sleeping well? So I'm doing the insomnia as well, and addictions, of course, because every behavior that we have has its good intent, and people usually go into addictions in order to help themselves emotionally to feel otherwise they wouldn't be able to feel. So I do this as well.
Awesome.
There is lots of things that I do.
But Maggie, one thing I really, really appreciate that besides being so many hurdles in your life, you never ever stopped, you never ever felt tired, you never ever gave up in your life. And that's very, very important, Maggie. And those pains, those, the very tough situation in your life has, instead of breaking you, has made you a very strong, has transformed you a very strong woman. And today that strong woman is in front of me, and I'm talking and I'm hosting her. This is really awesome. And here I would love to connect you with my global audience. If they want to get any self-healing process, or they want to come out of any stress, anxiety, or depression, they can kindly contact Maggie Nangla, and she is there on social media. You can find her, and she will make your way very easy, and she will make you love with the life, with your love, with your passion, with your energy. So Maggie is there, so no worries there. Awesome. Great one, Maggie. And before I step into another set of questions, one thing I would love to know, what are Maggie plans for our future? What is our mission and vision? And this will be so interesting to know by my audience too.
Well, I have I have many plans and many hopes for my future. I'm the first one. I would like to have my own charity, helping single people around the world not to feel isolated anymore, to know that they matter, because single parents really feel isolated, lonely, and they may feel that they're worse off than those ones in couples. So who are in couples. So I definitely want to create charity for single people, but also for single parents. But also my main aim, main vision is to create a happiness academy where people know that they don't need to, that they can be as healthy as they want when they address their emotions, when they know what's important to them, and they prioritize happiness, everything falls, just in its places. So it's not about the restrictions. It's not about molding each other to each other expectations. People, it's much more celebration of how unique and beautiful souls we are, and that we do not need to enslave ourselves to medication for a long time in our life, wanting to become healthy. We can do it by increasing the great emotions within us and understand that the best pharmacy in the whole world, we already have free of charge in each of us. So that's my biggest dream.
I must appreciate this biggest dream and biggest mission and loveliest, you can say. So much positivity, abundance should go to you, and you should accomplish all your mission and vision with great heart. Awesome one, Maggie. I wish you all the best for that.
Thank you.
Well, before I say a lovely goodbye to lovely Maggie and my global audience, everybody is waiting for your powerful message, which will revoke and rejuvenate everyone today on this global talk show platform.
Well, again, I could say lots of things, but my message to everyone is be yourself. It's so easy to forget who we are. It's so easy to feel inadequate when our ego starts talking and whispering to us. We are all beautiful human beings. We all matter. And if we learn how to embrace it, our uniqueness, we create a beautiful world, not for only for ourselves, but for the younger generations. And remember, the younger generations, they don't learn from what they're being told. They're learning from what they see. So by helping each other, we can create healthier and happier environment for all.
Wow, this is called a powerful message. And Maggie, today you have touched millions of people by your incredible life journey, your challenges, which were really toughest buddies, you can say, which had made you a strong woman today. So I congratulate you for your all success as a single woman you have achieved with your own effort. And I will say only one thing, you are a self-made woman. Yes, Maggie.
Just one more thing I just wanted to say. I feel so honored. I became recently head of England for Global Networking Wing of G100, and there's so many ambitious plans we have in terms of our growth and empowerment. So head for England for Global Networking Wing as well. So really honored.
Great one, Maggie. And this is also one of the accolade. You shared it last, but you shared it. This is awesome. So I'm thankful to you for coming to our show and enlightening this loveliest evening and also afternoon and morning across the globe. So thank you so much for coming to our show. And thank
Thank you
you,
very
global
much.
audience, too, for always supporting us, loving us. Keep doing that. Stay happy, Helenati. Bye bye for now.